Where are we going? North.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Therapeutic benefit in role-playing games. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, baby. Your presence requested in exchange for treasures.
Ripper.
Are we talking one treasure each?
Count that.
Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. Last we finished up the Cosmic Clowns from Durncle 6, and we're going to be getting into Billy Barbadook and the Magic Ghoul Bus today. So obviously that's the title. The tagline is The Ghast and the Ghouliest. The genre is horror. The twist is each player is an immortal undead brought to life by an evil necromancer and discarded. A good-intentioned, eccentric scientist named Billy Barbadook raised them up through intellect and uses them to combat the horrors of Cape Doomscar, which is where they live. The tech level is Steam. The series goal is to stem the tide of horror creatures through education and ass-kicking. The antagonist role is Cape Doomscar itself. It's just saturated in black magic that's collected for centuries. So this births curses that take various forms. The necromancer, Zalthabar, who created the zombie school, shows up randomly, but he's not the direct cause of all the things going on. He just takes advantage of it. The gimmick is the immortal students who learn through first-hand experience since they can't die again. And the primary setting is the Gothic-era city, Cape Doomscar. The tier is Superhuman. This is our one and only game that is of the Superhuman tier. And for our dials, we have a seriousness of 2, a realism of 3, that's to go along with the education and science. The violence is 2, and the continuity is a 1. The music begins with miscellaneous beast sounds, horror creaks, and odd squishes before turning into a dance beat like the Monster Mash crossed with the Magic School Bus theme. It's not stealing, I swear. A full moon shines over a dark field where a necromancer begins conjuring different undead. He looks at them and leaves. The undead look downtrodden when a steam energy tank comes roaring in and eccentric scientist Billy Barbadook hops out. The vehicle transforms into a bus and the kids look pumped. He happily brings them in and they begin cruising through miscellaneous adventures mashed together like battling lycanthropy, devils, the high school hierarchy, etc. And they all appear lined up with Billy behind them, and the ghoul bus just plows through a building. And that's the intro. So just go around real quick and introduce our characters. We'll just do it alphabetically again. So Annaskell.
Okay, I'm Annaskell. I'll figure out a voice or something probably as time goes on. But I'm Annaskell. She is a skeleton who is able to detach and completely reassemble herself. Even if one of her bones breaks, she can replace it with a different one. She is fashionable and extremely self-conscious about nudity. She's a horse lover who rides a skeleton horse named it's Femodora. Is that how you're pronouncing it?
Yeah, it's just a play on femur.
She carries a scythe. Oh, actually, I needed to scroll down to see its ability. It looks like, just like Mjolnir, it returns to me on command.
All right. The scientist himself, Billy Barbadook.
Yes, Billy Barbadook is an eccentric scientist who moved to Cape Doomscar to perform his weird experiments, as it was extremely cheap to obtain large property. Little did he know the town is home to horrors. He decided to battle the evil magic with science. The necromancer discarded undead kids whom Billy took in as his children and students. Macabre. Billy's main assets are, in fact, the Magic Ghoul Bus, which is a heavily armored bus that has a mind of its own, meaning that it seemingly random events trigger transformations. For example, when the clock hits the time of 10:22, it will randomly transform. I'm assuming there's going to be many other events that trigger it that we won't know about. Great. Yeah, some things about it. It's got a steam tank cannon, it's extra fortified, and it's got an energy turret. And it can travel over most terrain without any difficulty.
Oh, yeah. Robert Ghoulee.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Ghoulee. Not to be confused with Robert Ghoulee. I am very happy to be here with all of you. I am the assistant coroner. With exquisitely manicured nails, some might say claws.
Assistant to the coroner?
Yes. I can paralyze you with them and transform into a strong hyena. I can also become my hungry demon form when it happens, you know. I assist my good friend Dr. Babadook with his analysis of the undead. I am Robert Ghoulee. Toodles.
Toodles. All right, and that leaves Samp.
What's up? I'm Samp. Been infused some vampiric essences, giving me some fangs, enhanced strength, some super speed, and iron will. I don't have all their powers, but that also means I don't have any of their weaknesses. And, I dislike the sunlight, and it is kind of bad manners to enter somebody's place without, asking for permission. And you know what? I don't really need to subsist too much on blood, which is pretty great. I just need to eat a couple of bugs every now and then, which is super convenient because I find bugs super fascinating. I'm also varsity football champ. Yeah.
So the other characters that are the undead that will be NPCs is we have Mumsy, who is a cute girl with bandages around 75% of her body that she can manipulate. Most notably, she has a bad luck curse in her immediate vicinity. She has an unbreakable sarcophagus that she's learned to transform into a guitar or wield as a weapon. She likes it cold and dry, and she's really into music and playing her bass guitar. And the other student is just simply Z. He just groans like you would expect a zombie to in whatever situation's going on. He really adds nothing to the team aside from groans. And in combat, he just kind of slowly limps around and then will get slammed into something. That's Z. So he wasn't an option for the characters because he's literally useless. All right, so the opening act, we have spooky sounds about a small village with animals wandering off into the forest. We hear furniture shattering inside of the buildings. Eventually, there are screams. The scene shifts to Cape Doomscar High, where the main characters are in class with Z and a few other students. Billy is teaching chemistry when Principal Paw, a black cat, strolls into class saying a neighboring town is requesting help figuring out what's happening to them. So the neighboring town is known as Plumberryport. It's a friendly town with a Puritan foundation. So anything in class before we roll out?
What is the age range of the kids? Like, are we supposed to believe that they're, even if they're thousands of years old, right? Like, are they like 8, 9, 10? Like,
so I'd say like the earlier stages of high school.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got a question. So, do they just need help figuring out what's going on? Like, they know something's happening, they just don't know what it is? Or do they also want us to deal with it?
It is both. They know something's going on, and if it is something sinister, then hopefully the team can deal with it.
Principal Robert Ghoulee has a question.
Yes, Robert?
Are finals canceled if we help with this project?
Samp is also invested in this question.
Yes, as is I.
I'd say that's really up to Dr. Barbadook.
Pass. We'll see how well you do on this adventure, and then we'll reconsolidate afterwards.
There you have it.
Okay. That is sufficient for one Robert Ghoulee.
So Principal Paw then just tail up, turns around, and scurries out of the classroom.
All right,
so this
class.
isn't like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask who's ready for an adventure. Put your
so
shrink rays down.
This isn't your first adventure.
This is gonna be extra credit.
No.
So the team, so you have like human students who are in the class, but they don't handle any of the investigations. It's just the 5 of you who will go out on these adventures. And
I imagine that Billy has a button beneath his desk that disperses like some kind of chemical gas into the room to essentially confuse and daze anyone that's not like one of my undead students who comes on adventures with me.
Nice, yeah. So
Completely unnecessarily. I mean, they're apparently the undead students in the class already.
Yeah.
Dr. Barbadook's not having it. Just gasses everybody.
Sam's okay with this. He always laughs.
Yeah, so they all either kind of like just pass out or they're just dazed, like, all right, and they'll forget. Like the whole course of the adventure will happen. And you'll return to class, and they'll still just be there and mysteriously come to when the adventure is over.
Yeah, as we're all sitting down.
Yeah, it's a very precise gas, and I love that you're wearing a Trust Science shirt right now.
Right.
As Dr. Barbadook.
Trust science class. So I want another button under my desk. Then when I push it, it basically opens up chutes beneath each of the students and myself to send us through a pneumatic tube system to the magic ghoul bus.
Yes, and it's definitely like overly complicated too. Just like comic like
Unnecessarily
random
so.
turns.
Yeah, exactly.
And gravity defying as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But however, like every episode, like the direction that we go through these tubes change. It's never the same.
Love it. Yeah, the tubes. It's basically like the tubes also have minds of their own. Like,
Excellent.
this will
Like-
be the funny version.
Like the Emperor's New Groove, where they like wind up in each other's clothes somehow.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of the Hogwarts stairs, but hey, that works too. When we pop out of the chutes, do we just land in the chairs? Like how does because like
Yes.
okay, so Annaskell, so like as everybody else kind of just like plops into the chairs, right? Annaskell floats down. She's wearing a dress, so it just kind of like inflates, and she just kind of floats down like a second behind everybody else.
Yeah, and it's like it has like a Betty Boop reaction to the dress coming up.
Exactly.
Can Robert Ghoulee's nails be adamantium?
I mean, they're basically adamantium.
They're Ghoulamantium.
Yeah, they're Ghoulamantium. It's a special material that you and Dr. Barbadook study sometimes.
Absolutely.
And Annaskell's horse is also just like on the Ghoul bus already, just kind of like chilling. But
The
the
very
Ghoul,
back
the
of the
Ghoul,
bus is just a little stable.
yeah, so like the Ghoul bus can take on basically any form. So,
I heard. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
as I say, it's incredibly spacious for the amount of people who are actively using the Ghoul bus.
Yeah, it's bigger on the inside than the outside, like House of Leaves.
Yes, yeah.
Or the bus from Spice World.
I heard when you get to college, you don't need to ride a ghoul bus anymore.
Shut up, Robert.
I'm gonna be so I'm gonna be in the back, kind of like either petting the horse, or because I'm kind of thinking is it like it's got a skeleton, but just like this amazing mane of black hair.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense either.
Right.
And I was picturing too, like the dress of the horse was like similar, where she's like self-conscious about nudity. She has like all of these like fancy layers.
So okay, so where Annaskell is so like she loves fashion and everything, she always has a matching outfit for her horse.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, the dress that I've got, I'm imagining like it's like it looks like a sundress. The arms are bare, which she's a little like kind of freaked out about, but she's rocking it. She's going with it. And the sundress is like I'm picturing like cherries or strawberries or something just all over them, some sort of a fruit all over them. And yeah, matching outfit for the horse. Probably a giant sun hat too.
Nice, yeah. And the horse also has a giant sun hat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So today the Magic Ghoul bus looks like it's painted pitch black, and it has giant purple and green bat wings coming out the side, with all sorts of like steampunk machinations alongside too. So there's like steam shooting out of various ports in the bus.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's especially like when you like go to like make jokes or something, you like the Ghoul bus will like react to it with its steam ports.
Yeah, and they all sound like different pitches of slide whistle. Just like meow.
Yeah, the Ghoul bus is just like it can do basically anything. Push comes to shove.
Does it have like angry eyebrows for the headlights?
Does it?
Angry what for the
Like eyebrows, like angry eyebrows. You know, like
I think so. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think like, and the
look
mood
over
changes based on the relative sense of urgency that we're rocking.
The eyebrows get happier throughout the episode as we get closer to the mystery.
Yeah, like it like has like awareness of your ability to solve mysteries. So something we hadn't really gone over before. We talked about how everyone has their traits and qualities, and there is like extensive text within the rulebook about vehicles, alternate forms. So for like transformers, for combining for like a Gestalt form where you'll become Voltron or like Captain Planet, and there's all sorts of additional rules for that. I'm just going to keep it simple that the Ghoul bus is kind of what Billy described, that it has like these extra abilities, and your vehicles will have traits of their own. So where like Death Star, like say like planet destroying space station or moon sized space station, things like that as like trait descriptors, and they can be checked off the same way they can be used for the player characters. So I thought I'd mention that, but that's for when you buy this and want to do vehicle stuff or be Transformers, then you can look into it. But all right, so we're on our way to Plumberryport, and I think that's probably an episode length, right?
I forgot to put a timer up, so sure.
Yeah, on to Plumberryport.
Plumberryport.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.